Hello, welcome back. It's been a while. I've been quite busy finishing my thesis and other things. Just finishing school. This is my last semester of undergrad. This may be one of the last videos you see in this apartment ever, which is really sad. So, take it in. Anyway, you only had a couple seconds to take it in, so I hope you did. Anyway, now that that's over, I'm here today, as the title tells you, to talk about The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. So welcome. Lovely to have you. I will be saying right now, because usually I forget, that there are spoilers. Lots and lots of spoilers. I'm going to be talking about spoilers. Okay? So if you haven't read the book and you want to, leave and come back, or just leave, or I don't really care. You watch it anyway. I don't really care. I'm just warning you. If you have read the book, continue watching. Let me know if you agree with me. First of all, let's start with general overall thoughts. Oh my god, I'm being so weird today. I haven't done this in a while, so it's a little challenging. Overall thoughts. I really enjoyed the book. I turned in my thesis on Thursday, May 1st, my undergraduate thesis, Thursday, May 1st. The book came out Friday, May 2nd. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning and started this book. I also had to do laundry. So I read the book literally all day. I did not get to finish it on Friday. I had to leave to play futsal, but I finished it Saturday morning, and it was just a wonderful time. I loved it. This is actually my first, I've been a fan of Mariana Zapata for 3 years, I think. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive though, that this is the first book she's released in the time that I've been a fan of her, which is crazy. But I was just so excited to read it, and it did live up to my expectations. I was really happy about it. I enjoyed the plot. It was different from other things she's read because it was still contemporary, but it had magic elements in it. So they were on a ranch in Colorado, but then there was they were magical creatures too. So I thought that was really interesting, and I did think that the world needed to be explained better. So there just needed to be more explanations as to oh, I get the beginning, oh, the meteor came, maybe we don't really know what happened. But then you literally have someone who is a god that was created when the meteor came. Give us some more about how these magical beings came to be. And then we also needed, in my opinion, some more conclusion, why is she not immortal? Why did the meteor make these other people basically gods, and why are those gods' children not immortal? Why are they longer living? I do have a lot of questions about the world. I probably will mention this point again, but we're moving on now. The romance aspect, which is what we know Mariana Zapata does so well, was great. I really liked the tension between the two main characters, which their names were Henri, and oh my god, what was her name? Oh my god. The puppy's name was Duncan because he was a Dunkin' Donut, because she called him a donut. I, for the life of me, do not remember her name. I will put it on the screen in big letters, but I can't remember it right now. So, their chemistry was phenomenal. Mariana Zapata was a little mean and gave us a bunch of false, we as the audience could obviously tell that Henri liked her, but she didn't know, and so we had so many false, I'm gonna call them false starts. They were more false confessions, where we got so close to him being I just want to wait to the end of the 3-month period, we should, and then they were interrupted, and my god, those drove me nuts, because they were making me think the end of the book was sooner than it was, and they were going to get together. And I know Mariana Zapata keeps her people apart for most of the book. They don't get together till the end, even though they really care for each other. And so I really thought they were going to get together way sooner. I was wow, this is different from Mariana Zapata. And then they didn't, because it was kind of like miscommunication or like interruption trope. And I just like, I didn't really like, it kept me anticipating it, but it also was like, okay, so like we know that he really likes her. We know that she really likes him. And like, it was only 3 months also. It felt like a lot longer than 3 months, but it was only 3 months. So I'm a little confused about that part too. I would have made it 6. Back to the magic aspect though, because now I'm thinking about like other characters. There's like Bigfoots, there's like swamp creatures. So did like these like other creatures that aren't like human adjacent, like even like werewolves, like the god people make sense. Like the meteor gave them, like they don't make sense, but like the meteor gave them magic. And so they exist because of that. But like, I don't really get like how werewolves came to be, because like if you got magic from the meteor, you became a god. But if you were next to a wolf, you became like, I don't get how a lot of these things came to be in the world. It was just like, oh, the meteor, oh yeah. So that was a pet peeve of mine. No, it wasn't a pet peeve, it was just a peeve of mine. I don't know, I wanted more from like about her parents. There was a lot. One of my other pet peeves was like, oh, like we really think that there's this, but like we're not gonna say it because like superstition. Like I was raised by werewolf parents, and the superstition of just like not saying these names. And so I, not knowing these like fairy tales, especially some of them were like Mexican like gods. I'm pretty sure, I apologize if I've gotten it wrong, but like they're the like ancient like Incan, nope, that's not Mexican, ancient Mayan gods. Like that's the kind of like fairy tale lore we're going for in like with her parentage, well, some of it. And so like her father was the god of dreams, but like we never got any answers about her mother, and we didn't really get a lot of answers about her father. He just like showed up, and then they were like, okay, bye, and then it was just like the end of the book. And so the ending did feel a little bit rushed, because like we had this like magic puppy. We didn't know what he was for the entire book, even though like 4 people were like, oh, I think I know what he is, but like I'm gonna wait for somebody else to tell you. I'm sorry, what? Like tell us earlier. We didn't know who her dad was till the end of the book, and he's like, oh, he's the death one. The uncle is the dream one. Oh yeah, her dad just like he's like been contacting her in her dreams, randomly shows up at the end of the book, and then it's just like, okay, uncle knocked him out, and then like we have no idea what happened. Like he dealt with him, but like we have no idea what happened. The book ended. So I would say the ending was a bit rushed. Like Mariana Zapata waited until the last few chapters to put everything in that was to like give us all the answers, where I feel like that's like in a fantasy book, and this was not like high fantasy, but it was like fantasy people, if that makes sense. You kind of have to interspace your revelations just slightly, especially if it's like a standalone book. Like we got to have like a mid-book revelation. Like we should have found out what the dog was. We should have found out who her dad was. Like something like that. Instead, like everything happened in the last quarter of the book. And it just felt a little bit rushed. And then like by the time we got to the ending, I was like, wait, it's over now, even though like we had like 4 false endings where I was like, oh, like he's about to tell her that he likes her. So as a romance, top tier. I loved it. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. That's my overall rating. Also, I have 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would read it again. It's not my favorite book in the world she's ever read, but it was a really good book. And so for like the romance aspects, top tier, 5 out of 5 stars. We know that she is like, Mariana Zapata is the queen of romance. So that was a really good aspect of it. The fantasy aspects could have been better. I rate books on my enjoyment of them, and so I give it a 5 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. But the romance aspects versus the fantasy aspects were very, very, very different. The romance aspects were leagues above the fantasy aspects. Oh my god, I need to stop saying that word. I'm struggling with it. So for romance, 5 out of 5 stars. As I've said, fantasy, I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5 stars, just because I don't feel like it was fully flushed out, and then the ending was really rushed, and I was like, I have a lot of questions about your world and your. That's what happens when you write fantasy, though. Like when you change the world, you have to explain the world, and I just feel like the world wasn't explained well, and like the parents and just a couple elements. If you made it this far and you haven't read the book and you just like were like, oh, I want to know what happens, I would still recommend you read it. It was if you like Mariana Zapata and like slow burns, it was really good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope my review helped. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my review, if you disagree with it, if you had your own thoughts. Like, let me know. I respond. I respond to my comments. So just leave me a comment and we can have a chat about it, you know? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you eventually.